Yeah, you could say that. All right, can everybody hear me all right? Is the audio fine on my end as well as the game's end? Awesome. Okay, let's get the show on the road then. I already downloaded all the updates, so there's not going to be much to it. I hear you can get Tamamo Cross now, so I might try and roll for her. And if I can get her, we'll try and do her career. But I'm not gonna do more than I think 2 tries before I get started, because I don't want to, you know, delay you with all this pointless stuff of, like, you know, trying to, like, get all my coins here. Figurative term. I'm one of those people, I don't have to watch the story, so sorry. Yeah, I think you get the first 4 chapters of any new Umamusume. What? Demoted? I don't think I want to do this. Alright. Alright, I got 16,000 carats. Let's try for Tamamo Cross. I can spend a lot. I could do like 100 pulls, I guess, or scouts. Let's see if I get lucky on the first try. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I hear you on that, Koos, but I don't like spending real money, so I can kind of avoid it. All right. I think I'll try and scout maybe what? Oh, it's her this time? Oh, okay. I think I need to screen cap this. So hold on just 1 second. Yay. Okay. I got her. Yeah, I got a good pull. Yeah. That's I guess that's why the superintendent came out. Whatever she's called. I forget what her title is. Yeah. I don't care about y'all. All right. We got Tamamo Cross, so we're going to do her career. All right. We'll do Unity Cup. I'll take it. All right, here we go. I should have used quick mode maybe if I wanted to. Okay, whatever. Do something different this time. Her Kansai accent's starting to grow on me a little bit. I thought it was annoying at first, but... Jankenpo. I always wind up resting the horses like on the very last turn before a race, so I don't think I can... Oh, I do have enough points. Alright, let's see what this race is about. Why not? It's medium. I'm one of those people, so anytime I look this up, I always pick the one that's closest to the front that still has like a high grade. So all of these are A's, so I'll pick Pace, even though the default was, I guess, she's an end, so... Okay, we'll see how this goes.
曇り空の下、阪神レース場、芝2000メイクデビュー、9人の馬娘たちが挑みます。3番人気はこの子です。9番、この評価は少し不満か。2番人気はこの子、3番。さあ、今日の主役はこの馬娘を置いて他にいない。1番人気、タマモクロス。
私が一番期待している馬娘、気合い入れてほしいですね。
ゲートイン完了、出走の準備が整いました。スタート。各馬娘、綺麗なスタートを切りました。
誰が先頭に抜け出すか注目しましょう。
先行争いは7番、1番、3番、期待通りの結果を出せるか。1番人気、タマモクロス。7番、快調に飛ばして行きます。 先頭行ったのは7番、続いて3番、7番、3番、2人の競り合いは続いている。
ハイペースで流れる展開もありえますね。
第1コーナー回って第2コーナー、先頭は7番、単身で飛ばして行きます。2番手の位置で先頭を伺うのは3番、2馬身、3馬身開いてタマモクロス、4番手に8番、少し離れて4番、その後ろに1番、その後ろ5番、外9番、内を回って6番、7番、先頭を進みますが、これは正解でしょうか。
7番、彼女の客室には合っていますね。
向こう上面に入って先頭からしんがりまでおよそ10馬身、順位を振り返っていきます。先頭は相変わらず7番、続きました3番、タマモクロス。後ろから8番、その内並んで4番、この辺りまでで先頭集団を形成しています。まだ牽制し合っているのか、互いに探り合いのままレースが進みます。
これだけ密集していると紛れがありそうですね。
現在1番手は7番、そしてここで先頭はタマモクロス。第4コーナーを進んで直線へ向かう。
勝負どころ、最後の直線へとかけていきます。
この直線で勝負が決まるとタマモクロス、花を進む。まだ1馬身以上の差があるぞ。ここから捉えることができるのか。最終コーナーを曲がって最初に立ち上がったのはタマモクロス。タマモクロス強い、強すぎる。完全に抜け出したタマモクロス。先頭はタマモクロス、これは強い。200を通過、タマモクロス。リードは7馬身、タマモクロス。足色を衰えるタマモクロス。これは完璧な勝利です。他の追随をまるで許さなかったぞ。タマモクロス、勝利を飾った。2着には9番、3着8番。
響けファンファーレ、届けゴールまで輝く未来を君と見たいから。駆け出したらきっと始まるストーリー、いつでも
Okay. So I gotta do some races here. So all I can do is train. I think I need to level up just a bit before I run some races, so... I think what I'll do is I'll get down to about 8 turns, and then I'll start looking at running some races. Can you not like her? She's so excited.
天気も満タンや。やったね。終わったら買い出しやな。ちゃちゃっと行くで。元気バリバリやで。終わったら買い出しやな。始めようか。踏ん張り時やって分かった。あかん。トレセン学園すごいよな。遊ぼうぜ。
All right, let's do the Unity Cup once, and then we'll do some races to get the fans I need.
電光石火の走り。気分上々や。やってみろ。熱いレースだったね。みんなすごかったね。やったー。ベストリー。これだね。
Now it's telling me to race. All right.
ここは負けられない一番人気16番タマモクロス。
ほな行くか。
美しい青空が広がる中山レース場。ターフも絶好の両馬場になりました。
名勝負になる舞台は整いましたね。
虎視眈々と上位を狙っています。3番人気は栄心フラッシュ。2番人気を紹介しましょう。アイネス風神。スタンドに押しかけたファンの期待を一身に背負って1番人気タマモクロス。
私が一番期待している馬娘、気合い入れてほしいですね。
各馬娘ゲートに入って体勢整いました。スタート。各馬娘綺麗なスタートを切りました。
みんな集中してましたね。好レースが期待できそうです。
先行争いは3番タマモクロス岸山ゾン。さあ花に立ったのは3番。このままリードすることができるか。2番手の位置で先頭を伺うのはタマモクロスアイネス風神。ペースが速い。3番快調に飛ばしていきます。さあ1コーナーから2コーナーへ向かっていく馬娘たち。先頭集団を見ていきましょう。先頭は3番単身で飛ばしていきます。続きましたタマモクロス内の方から岸山ゾン。さらには11番国
Let's fucking go.
さあいよいよ直線だ。どのタイミングで誰が仕掛けるのか。タマモクロス先頭はタマモクロス。これは強い。200を通過。タマモクロスリードは2打数。タマモクロス足色は衰えない。タマモクロス1着でゴールイン。実力をいかなく発揮しレースを制したタマモクロス。
I don't think that got me enough fans though. I think I'm still like 800 short.
2着は AC フラッシュ。3着に入ったのはフィッシュアマゾン。
今度お店だったぜ。
Oh, no, yeah, I got it. Okay. Ooh, that was risky. I didn't realize I had a 12% failure rate on that one. I have gotten a failure on a 1%.
分かってんねんけどやる気も元気も満タン。
Oh shit, I should have picked speed. Okay, well, whatever. Getting ahead of myself a little bit.
しっかり勝てるよ。踏ん張り時やって分かってんねんけど。
Oh wow, so I have to do more races. Okay.
あかん、力出えへん。 なんや、めっちゃ強くなった気する。やる気も元気も満タンや。やったんでしっかり勝てるようにた。 行くで。トレセン学園すごいよな。始めようか。あかん、力出えへん。 しっかり勝てるように頼むで。行くで。やる気も元気も。
Evidently her real life counterpart could swim because she's not using one of those paddle boards.
よっしゃ、本番や。
Unlike I think her rival Oguri Cat, she uses a paddle board every time that she does stamina, which means her real life horse, like her real life counterpart, couldn't swim very well.
小さいやつにも負けへんで。 や
Okay, good. 3 wins. It means 4. Okay. Of course, it's only Urara who loses. Oh. She's tired, so rest and recreation. I gotta rest her first before I start racing. Let's see. Alright. Okay. So I got a place in the top 3 at least 4 times in any G3 race or above. Alright, why not?
注目の1番人気4番玉木
ほな行くか。
抜けるような青空の下、東京レース場芝2500アルゼンチン共和国杯17人の馬娘たちが挑みます。人気と実力を兼ね備えたマヤのトップガン、今日は3番人気です。2番人気を紹介しましょう。グラスワンダー、スタンドに押しかけたファンの期待を一身に背負って1番人気タマモクロス、
火花散らすデッドヒートに期待しましょう。
各馬娘ゲートに入って体勢整いました。今スタートが切られました。各馬娘綺麗なスタートを切りました。
これは位置取りが熾烈になりそうですね。
先行争いはタマモクロス、名将怒涛、グラスワンダー、長丁場のこのレースですがタマモクロス早くも先頭に躍り出た。2番手の位置で先頭を伺うのはマヤのトップガン、外を回って14番、そしてそのうち名将怒涛、差がなく17番、そのうち並んで15番、1コーナーからそして2コーナーへ向かっていきます。タマモクロス早くも先頭に躍り出た。続いてマヤのトップガン、名将怒涛、3番手少し離れて14番、5番手にはグラスワンダー。
So some of you might be wondering why do I stream Umamusume? And it's like, well, if I'm doing live streaming and I'm new to it, I think Umamusume is a very easy game to stream. Plus, in races like this, you can always go around and you can like play with your settings outside of the game. You can check your like Twitter feed or whatever. You can check up on your streams on YouTube or Twitch just to see that they're working properly and so forth. You can respond to chats. Check Discord.
全のロブ並んできた残り 1000m を通過少し離れてナイスネイチャーその外並んで13番内から8番少し後ろから6番その内並んで1番大欅を越え4コーナーへこの直線で勝負が決まるぞまだ1馬身以上の差があるぞここから捉えることができるのかまだ差があるここから先頭を捉える子は出てくるのか卵クロス花を進むさあ誰が最初に仕掛けるのか最後のコーナー最初に立ち上がったのは卵クロス栄光まで400食い下がる前のトップが練習のと追走卵クロス先頭は卵クロスこれは強い200を通過先頭は卵クロス変わらない卵クロス足色は衰えないこれは強い2番手争いは前の全のロブロイ
That was like 8 lengths, I think. Oh, it's close. It's 7 lengths, but I'm getting better at this. Okay, gotta race again. Shoot, it's gotta be G3 or above. Why is this one recommended to me? We'll do it anyway. I don't think this qualifies as being above G3 because it's open. I knew she was gonna win, but I don't think it'll let me toward my goal though. Yeah, see, I gotta... yeah, okay. Oof. I should have thought of that. Alright. We're going for broke. 5 straight races. I hope she doesn't go to the glue factory. I'm a little nervous. I gotta admit, I am a little nervous about this. I think 3 races will be 5. That 4th and 5th one are gonna be... I don't know. If I don't get 3rd in this, do I get a do-over though? Do I get the alarm clock?
を見るように AM オペラ王3馬身離れてライスシャワー岩早秀追走少し離れて12番そのうち並んで7番1馬身差8番2馬身差13番およそ5馬身開いて4番少し後ろからスペシャルウィーク15番並んでくるさらに2番そしてその後方には9番第2コーナーを抜け向こう上面に入った先頭がやや速いのか縦長の展開だ
各自自分のペースを保っているようですね。
順位を振り返っていきます。先頭1番レースはよどみなく進んでいます。続きました12番1馬身離れて AM オペラ王ライスシャワー並んでくるすぐに続いて岩早秀少し後ろからタマモクロスそれを見るように7番8番並んでくるそれを見るように13番5馬身差スペシャルウィーク少し後ろから4番そしてマンハッタンカフェ少し後ろから15番まもなく第4コーナーカーブ1番まだリードをキープしています。続いて12番そして AM オペラ王その後ろに岩早秀差がなくタマモクロスライスシャワー並んできた8番並びかけてきたその外並んで7番内13番3馬身差4番外からマンハッタンカフェ1馬身差スペシャルウィークその外並んで2番そしてその内を回って15番後方2番手に16番最後方9番疾風陣雷ってな意気揚々と先頭1番どうでしょうこの展開
かかってしまっているかもしれません。一息つけるといいですが。
さあ12番ここで先頭です。さあ1コーナーから2コーナーへ向かっていくウマ娘たちタマモクロスここにいます。1馬身離れて1番すぐに続いて AM オペラ王あとは岩早秀それを見るようにライスシャワー1馬身離れて7番そのうち並んで13番後から8番4番並びかけてきたそれを見るようにマンハッタンカフェそしてそのうちスペシャルウィークさらには2番1馬身差15番1馬身離れて16番タマモクロス先頭を進みますがこれは正解でしょうか。
かかってしまっているかもしれません。息を入れるタイミングがあればいいですが。
2周目の向こう正面各馬娘たちの動きが激しくなっています。残り数メートルを通過先頭は依然タマモクロス5馬身リードこの差は大丈夫なのか。2番手は12番外から行く岩早秀ライスシャワー並びかけてきたすぐに続いて4番そして内目をつきましては AM オペラ王外でマンハッタンカフェ内の方から1番そして外目をつきましてはスペシャルウィーク第4コーナーを進んで直線へ向かう。
馬娘たちがどう動くか目が離せません。
さあいよいよ直線だ。どのタイミングで誰が仕掛けるのか。中山の直線は短いと後ろの子たちは間に合うか。追いすがる岩早秀余裕の走りだ。後ろをぐんぐん突き放してこれはセーフティーリード200をついたタマモクロスこれは強い余力を残したまま速い先頭はタマモクロス変わらないタマモクロス足色は覚えないタマモクロス強いとさりげない走り
Two more races.
楽しみです。ステイヤーズステークスを制しました
根性見せたったで。
Wait a minute. Top 3 for G3 races. Oh shoot.
またレースはさすがにきついで。
Wait, okay, I did that. G3 or above. Okay. All right. I'm getting nervous.
8番タマモクロス
ほな行くか。
年末の中山スタートです。各馬娘綺麗なスタートを切りました。
誰が先頭に抜け出すか注目しましょう。
期待通り
Oh, twin turbos in this one. Cool.
タマモクロスツインターボ快調に飛ばしていきます。さあ花に立ったのはツインターボこのままリードすることができるか。まもなく第4コーナーカーブ長丁場のこのレースですがツインターボ早くも先頭に躍り出た。続きましたダイワスカーレットのツインターボ2人とも花は譲りません。
2人がレースを作りそうですね。
1周目の直線スタンドの大歓声に迎えられながら馬娘たちが走り抜ける。ツインターボまだリードをキープしています。続いてダイワスカーレット2馬身3馬身開いて9番1馬身離れて2番5番手にはグラスワンダー外から行く14番 番。さあ1コーナーから2コーナーへ向かっていくウマ娘たち。順位を振り返っていきます。現在1番手はツインターボ、少し離れてダイワスターレット、後から9番外を回ってタマモクロス、2番水槽、外から16番、さらにはグラスワンダー、その外並んで14番、少し離れて13番、3番水槽、少し離れて7番、そしてその内を回って全のロブロイ、その後ろ岸アマゾン、さらに内から5番、その外並んでゴールドシップ AM オケラ王、現在しんがりだ。向こう正面に入って先頭はダイワスターレット、先頭は相変わらずダイワスターレット、残り数メートルを通過。2馬身3馬身開いてツインターボ、3番手9番、それを見るように2番、1馬身離れて14番、そしてその外を回って16番、そしてその内から行ったのはタマモクロス、外を回ります。3番内からグラスワンダー、そしてその外を回ってゴールドシップ、7番並びかけてきた、少し離れてテイエムオペラ王、第4コーナーカーブ。
ここからスパート、一気にレースが動きます。
この直線で勝負が決まるぞ。まだ差がある。ここから先頭を捉える子は出てくるのか。最終コーナーを曲がって先陣を切ったのはダイワスターレット、ダイワスターレット、強すぎる。疾風陣雷ってな。ダイワスターレット、先頭はダイワスターレット、これは強い。残り200、2番手争いはテイエムオペラ王、ゴールドシップ、ダイワスターレット、今ゴールイン。夢のグランプリを制したのはダイワスターレット。
I think she got fourth. Oh shit. I don't think I'll get a do-over. Fuck.
今日のうちは一味ちゃうで。やったな。ありがたやー。ビクトリー。やったー。そんなもんや。私たち無理なんです。カット準備して。
Well, I'm not gonna meet my goal anyway, so... Wait, what's this hint?
今日はあそこのスーパーが安いから。わあ。しっかり勝てるように頼むで。行くで。
I'm gonna have to try again, I guess. Ah. Okay, well. I think I could have planned that a little bit better.
これで君たち顔向けできるわ。
Yeah.
最初ツンゲンしてごめんな。あなたと馬娘。最初ツンゲンしてごめんな。お父ちゃん相変わらずやな。チビたちに突っ込まれとるやんけ。差し入れも喜んでもらえたみたいやな。最初ツンゲン、あなたと馬娘。さあ、タマモクロスや。 くでついてきや。行くで。トレセン学園すほな。終わったら買い出しやな。始めようか。踏ん張り時やって分かってんねんけど。行くで。あかん、力で。終わったら買い出しやな。始めようか。サクッといくでついてきや。踏ん張り時や。あかん。ええ感じの目。行くで。しっかり勝てるように頼むで。チビたちの期待に応えなあかんねん。ほな。終わったら買い出しやな。出番やな。ほな。誰が相手だ。
So I'm gonna skip past some of this just to make it quickly back to where I was.
1番人気3番タマモクロス。
実力は完全に上位ですね。貫禄すら感じてし
ほな行くか。
上空にはさあゲートがいいスタートを切ったのは9番。
根性見せたったで。響けファンファーレ届け。
Now on this turn, I think I need to just level up until I get to like 5 turns left, and then I'll be able to win one of the races to get that many fans. It was the one after that that kind of tripped me up.
けや。行くで。頑張り時やって。やるか。トレセン学園すごいよな。やるか。パッと準備して。今日のかちゃちゃっとほな。パッと準備して行くで。トレセン学園やるか。気分上々や。パやってみろ。やったー。こんなもんやい。あんたびっくり。みんな頑張ったもんね。
I think she specializes in medium.
注目の一番人気4番
ほな行こか。
荒れた天候。今いいスタートを切ったのは
根性見せたったで。
Question is, did she get enough fans? Oh yeah, 6,000 plus. Okay. Okay, that goal was met. I think on the next goal I need to start doing the races with about 8 or 9 turns left, so I'm gonna have to manage that a bit better.
やるか。トレセン学園すごいよな。ほな。あかん、力出えへん。 てるように頼むで。ちび行くで。なんや、めっちゃ強くなった気する。力出えへん。パッと準備して始めようか。終わったら買い出し。ほな踏ん張りどやるか。パッと準備してさーってやるか。今日の感じやったら始めようか。電光石火の走り。気分上々や。やってみろや。
Quarter one, I'll take that.行くで。しっかり勝てるように頼むで。チビたちの期待に応えなあかんねん。Okay, I think I need to start doing the races now. So here we go. G2, yeah, alright, let's try it.
注目の一番人気12番タマモクロス。
ほな行こか。
美しい青今スタート。各馬娘揃って
根性見せたったで。ちゃちゃっと始めんで。しっかり勝てるように頼むで。
Let's do one more race.
負けられない1番人気12番タマモクロス。
実力は完全に上位ですね。貫禄すら感じてしまいます。前目につける先行策で勝利を。
ほな行くか。
美しい青最後各馬娘綺麗なスタート。
完全お店だったで。終わったら買い出しや。やるか。
All right. This is one of the ones we did last time, I think, so
実力は完全に上位です。
fingers crossed for Tamamo Cross.
ほな行くか。
Okay, I know that was corny, sorry.
抜けるようなスター5番飛び出していった。
Alright, she won that one. Okay, one more. Let's just rest her. Alright, let's see. Nakayama Turf is G2. Alright. Will she meet her goal? I'm not gonna skip past this race.
ここは負けられない1番人気12番。
ほな行くか。
Alright.
美しい青空が広がる中山レース場。ターフも絶好の両馬場になりました。
十分に実力を出せるレースとなりそうですね。
虎視眈々と上位を狙っています。3番人気はスペシャルウィーク。2番人気を紹介しましょう。テイエムオペラ王。スタンドに押しかけたファンの期待を一身に背負って1番人気タマモクロス。
火花散らすデッドヒートに期待しましょう。
各馬娘ゲートに入って体勢整いました。スタートです。各馬娘綺麗なスタートを切りました。
誰が先頭に抜け出すか注目しましょう。
先行争いはマヤのトップガンタマモクロス10番。先頭はマヤのトップガン単身で飛ばしていきます。先頭から大きく離されて2番手はタマモクロス。そしてそのうちスペシャルウィーク。さあ1コーナーから2コーナーへ向かっていく馬娘たち。マヤのトップガン快調に飛ばしていきます。さあ花に立ったのはマヤのトップガン。このままリードすることができるか。2番手の位置で先頭を伺うのはタマモクロス。さらには岩早秀。そしてその後方にはスペシャルウィーク。そしてその外を回ってライスシャワー。1馬身離れて4番。その後ろから6番。少し後ろから10番。それを見るように16番5馬身差2番。1馬身離れて8番。その後から11番。そしてその外から行ったのはテイエムオペラ王。向こう上面に入って先頭から新垣までおよそ20馬身。先頭から後方まで縦長の展開だ。
各自自分のペースを保っているようですね。
順位を振り返っていきます。依然としてマヤのトップガン。続いて岩早秀タマモクロス。ここにいます。そしてその後ろから行くのは6番サガネクスペシャルウィーク。そしてその後ろから行くの
れません。一息つけるといいですが。
第1コーナー回って第2コーナー。現在1番手は三輪早秀、少し離れてマヤのトップガン。3番手スペシャルウィーク、さらに外ハマモクロス、さらにライスシャワー。その後6番外から10番、少し離れて4番外を回ります。天元オペラ王、1馬身離れて16番11番並んできた。そして15番、さらに2番、さらには7番、その後3番、そして最高峰8番三輪早秀、先頭を進みますが、これは正解でしょうか。
ちょっとかかり気味かもしれないです。一息つけるといいですが。
残り数メートルを通過。2周目の向こう正面、各馬娘たちの動きが激しくなっています。玉もクロス、この位置につけています。その後3、4馬身開いてライスシャワー、1馬身離れて三輪早秀、外を通りまして天元オペラ王、そしてその内からいたのはスペシャルウィーク。その後3、4馬身開いて7番内でマヤのトップガン、そして外目を突き出しては6番第4コーナーカーブ。
勝負どころ、最後の直線へとかけていきます。
この直線で勝負が決まると、まだ1馬身以上の差があると、ここから捉えることができるのか。中山の直線は短いと、後ろの子たちは間に合うか。玉のクラス花を進む、並んでくるライスシャワー、前は2人がしのぎを崩れ先頭玉のクラス。
Oh man,
わずか残り200、ライスシャワー。
I love Rush Shower, but come on.
熾烈なデッドヒート、追いすがる玉のクラス。お見事、
At least she got in the top 3, so goal was met.
見事な勝利です。勝ったのはライスシャワー、2着は玉のクラス。
あとちょびっとやったな。
Yep. Okay. Awesome. didn't fuck up this time.
稲妻だけに。調子よ。よっしゃ、本番。やってみろ。終わったら買い出しやな。ちゃちゃっと始めんで。時間もったいないからな。
Sometimes you just have to stretch.
しっかり勝てるように頼むで。チビたちの期待に応えなあかんねん。行くで。やる気も元気も満タンや。やったぜ。 じのメニューでよろしく。まあ今日はあんたに任せるってことや。トレセン学園すごいよな。施設の充実っぷりやばいで。これならうちもスター街道まっしぐらや。始めようか。踏ん張り時やって。あかん、力出えへん。しっかり勝てるように頼むで。行くで。よっしゃ、本番や。めっちゃかましたるやないか。
注目の一番人気14番タマモクロス。
実力は完全に上位ですね。貫禄すら感じてしまいます。この子の持久力を見せつけるには絶好の。
Should you finish Umamusume Pretty Derby Season 3 to get to Cinderella Grey? No, you don't have to. Because they aren't in like chronological order. But I would go ahead and watch Season 3 anyway, because Season 3 is pretty good. It's better than Season 1 in my opinion. I mean, I really like Kira-san Black, so you shouldn't skip any Umamusume. They're all good. That's the answer. Let's just say that.
16人の馬娘たちが挑みます。3番人気はこの子です。ライスシャワー。この評価は少し不満か。2番人気はこの子。テイエムオペラ王。
Yeah. I think almost everybody agrees Season 2 is better than Season 1. Not that Season 1 was bad, it's just Season 2 and Tokai Teo's story is just so tear-jerking, you know, so... And then the shorter story of that was Rice Shower's story, so...
先行争いは13番、11番、16番、期待通りの結果を出せるか。1番人気タマモクロス、13番会長に。
No, you should watch Season 3.
長馬のこのレースですが、13番早くも先頭に躍り出た。2番手の位置で先頭を伺うのは11番、16番追走。大きく離れてテイエムオペラ王タマモクロス並びかけてきた。それを見るように12番、さらにはライスシャワー前のトップガン内から行く。その後ろから3番第4コーナーカーブ。先頭がやや速いのか。隊列は縦長になっています。
後方の馬娘が差し返せるのか気になる開きです。
依然として13番続きました。11番、16番、3番手テイエムオペラ王、4番手差がなくタマモクロス、外から12番、そして内目をつきましては前のトップガン。まずは1周目正面スタート前に上がっていく。1馬身離れてライスシャワー。あとはスペシャルウィーク3番並んでくる。あとは15番外並んで1番少し離れてゴールドシップ。外には6番後方2番手に9番最高峰ポツンと1人。7番13番先頭を進みますが、これは正解でしょうか。
13番彼女の客室には合っていますね。
さあ1コーナーから2コーナーへ向かっていく馬娘たち。順位を振り返っていきます。先頭は変わらず13番、続いて11番、3番手16番、1馬身離れてテイエムオペラ王、5番手12番、あとはタマモクロス。そしてその後方にはライスシャワー。後から前のトップガン。1周目の向こう正面に入って変わらず先頭を突き進みます。13番先頭は相変わらず13番2馬身差。11番外からテイエムオペラ王、4番手に16番、その後から12番外からタマモクロス。内からライスシャワー。1馬身離れて前のトップガン。残り 1000m を通過。外から行くゴールドシップ。さらにスペシャルウィーク。さらには3番1馬身離れて15番外から1番、そしてそのうち6番外から9番最高峰7番。意気揚々と先頭を行きますタマモクロス。どうでしょうこの展開。
ちょっとかかり気味かもしれないです。一 一息つけるといいですが、
第4コーナーを進んで直線へ向かう。
馬娘たちがどう動くか目が離せません。
さあいよいよ直線だ。どのタイミングで誰が仕掛けるのか。さあ連鎖坂2川の舞台はこれから坂がある天佑のオペラを食らいついていく。タマモクロス強すぎる。完全に抜け出した。残り200。タマモクロス足色は衰えない。タマモクロスリードは6馬身。先頭は依然タマモクロス。タマモクロス強いとしか言えない走り。次のレースが今から楽しみです。タマモクロス見事に制しました。2着は天佑のオペラ王。3着に入ったのは
根性見せたったぜ。
Place top 3 in the Tenno show. Let's see. Watch me have only like one turn to make the goal. Oh yeah, I was right.
なんや、めっちゃ強くなった気する。元気バリバリやね。稲妻
Yeah, I might as well train.
行くで。
I think I'll be good. Knock on wood.
でっかいやつにも小さいやつにも負けへんで。
I don't think I have enough I don't think I have enough skill points to spend, but it never hurts to double check. I do have enough points, so let's do this one.
よっしゃ、本番。
注目の1番人気5番タマモクロス。
ほな行くか。
How's everyone doing with the weather anyway? I know there may be 3 to 6 of you in here watching this, so
唯一無二一条の盾をかけた熱き戦い。最長距離 G1 天皇賞春。3番人気にはライスシャワー。2番人気を紹介しましょう。天佑のオペラ王。
I'm pretty much snowed and iced in. I went outside and I took a little bit of video in my driveway. It snowed, but the problem is the ice is so thick and the snow is not very coarse or powdery enough that you can't really gain much traction if you go out driving.
注目しましょう。
期待通りの結果を出せるか。1番人気タマモクロス。7番快調に飛ばしていきます。
In my case, my ND Miata doesn't run very well when there's little traction. Part of it's because it's got an open differential.
二人がレースを作りそうですね。
長丁場のこのレースですが
My NA Miata would probably make it just fine because it's got a limited slip differential, oddly enough, so...
激しい競り合いタマモクロスこの位置につけています。さらに11番それを見るように名称だと
No snow for you.
9番外から行くライスシャワー。そしてその内からいたのは1番第4コーナーを進んで直線へ向かう。
Yeah, I hear Florida and the West Coast are the places to be right now.
難しいレースになりそうです。
I'm in neither of those places though, so...
1番手は前のトップダウン。続いて7番大きく離れてタマモクロス。1馬身離れて名称だと1周目のスタンド前にかかっていく。その外並んでライスシャワー。少し後ろから9番そのうち並んで11番それを見るように1番少し後ろから17番内から行く4番さらにゴールドシティその外並んでレーシンフラッシュ1馬身離れて天佑のオペラ王4馬身差14番1馬身差全のロブロイ13番続いている後方2番手に16番6番最高峰が第1コ
Tamamo Cross beats in all the long races, I've noticed. I mean, even if you watch like if you've watched Cinderella Grey, like all the races she's in, it feels like they're long races because they just drag out for like at least half an episode or maybe a full episode. It's almost like watching one of those initial D races. If you've ever seen that series. Oh, wow. Well, she got second again, it looks like. What do I need to do to beat Rice Shower? Love how Tamamo Cross, like, when she crosses the finish line, she's like one of the only Umas who's like, she has that sad look on her face. Unless she gets first, it don't matter if you reach the goal. Like she's got the sad look on her face, but like Haru Rarara, even when she gets last place, she's like, yay! You know? It's kind of the opposite. It's good to hear any song besides Make Debut. Even though Make Debut is a good song. Not knocking it, but alright, these last three I gotta place first. Let's see.
注目の一番人気4番タマモクロス。
ほな行くか。
表に託されたファンの夢、思いを力に変えて走るグランプリ宝塚記念。3番人気にはスペシャルウィーク、2番人気を紹介しましょう。稲荷湾。さあ今日の主役はこの馬娘を置いて他にいない1番人気タマモクロス。
火花散らすデッドヒートに期待しましょう。
ゲートイン完了。出走の準備が整いました。スタートです。各馬娘揃って綺麗なスタートを切りました。
みんな集中してましたね。好レースが期待できそうです。
先行争いはサイレンス鈴鹿、9番テイレモオペラを期待通りの結果を出せるか。1番人気タマモクロス、9番先頭に立ちました。続きましたサイレンス鈴鹿、早くも激しい競り合い。さらに内から5番少し離れてスペシャルウィークタマモクロス、ここにいた名将怒涛。続いている少し後ろから10番1コーナーから2コーナーへ向かうサイレンス鈴鹿、快調に飛ばしていきます。花を奪っていったのはサイレンス鈴鹿。続いて9番3番手にタマモクロス、外を通りましてスペシャルウィーク差がなく名将怒涛。内を回って10番5番並んでくる。少し離れて16番イナリーワン。続いている14番追走。向こう上面に入って先頭からしんがりまでおよそ13馬身。順位を振り返っていきます。現在1番手は9番、少し後ろからサイレンス鈴鹿、1馬身離れて名将怒涛。さらにはスペシャルウィーク
疾風陣雷ってな。
タマモクロス追走。あとは5番差がなく10番、それを見るようにイナリーワン。内から2番、外から16番3番。続いている少し後ろから14番内でテイレモオペラを1馬身離れて待ちかねタンコイン。2馬身差7番、少し後ろから13番後方2番手にグラスワンダー。1番最高峰だ9番。先頭を進みますがこれは正解でしょうか。
9番彼女の客室には合っていますね。
第4コーナーカーブ、
内から来るか外から来るか、最後の局面です。
練習の怒涛。ここで抜け出した互いに足を止めている展開。これは直線勝負になるか。さあこれから坂、右側の向かいはこれから坂がある。並んでくるタマモクロス、まくって上がってくるタマモクロス。残り200、タマモクロス完全に抜け出した先頭タマモクロス。しかしその後はタマモクロス。
イエーイ。
お見事。宝塚の主役を勝ち取ったのは
見たか。これが何
Oh, that's a different one. Okay, any song that isn't big debut.
ここで今輝きたい、叶えたい未来へ走り出そう。夢は続いてく。ライバルがいるほど頑張れるよ。いつか手にしたい真剣勝負の栄光。どんな時でも笑い合えるよ。君の心につながるシンパシー。遠く離れてしまう時でもいつまでも変わらないときめきがあるから。勝利を目指して
Almost got hooked into that song. All right. 2 more races. Let's see. Let's fucking do this. Oh, I gotta do Unity Cup. Okay, let's see. Five for 5. I think I need to give her more guts. That's what she's lacking in.
踏ん張り時やって。 小さいやつにも負けへんで。うちの本気見せつけたる。
注目の1番人気15番
ほな行こか。
ウマ娘たちが追い求める一条の盾、鍛えた足を武器に行く栄光への道、天皇賞秋。虎視眈々と上位を狙っています。3番人気はガイバ・スカーレット。2番人気を紹介しましょう。オグリキャップ。スタンドに押しかけたファンの期待を一身に背負ってグランプリウマ娘タマモクロス1番人気です。
私が一番期待しているウマ娘、気合い入れてほしいですね。
ゲートイン完了。出走の準備が整いました。さあゲートが開いた。各ウマ娘揃って綺麗なスタートを切りました。
みんな集中してましたね。好レースが期待できそうです。
マヤのトップガンとツインターボ、この2人が競り合っていると、これから第2コーナーへかかっていきます。期待通りの結果を出せるか。1番人気タマモクロス。マヤのトップガン先頭に勝ちました。ツインターボ並んできた。激しい先頭争い。第2コーナーを抜け向こう上面に入ったツインターボ、快調に飛ばしていきます。先頭はツインターボ、単身で飛ばしていきます。続きましたマヤのトップガン。早くも激しい競り合い。2馬身3馬身開いてタマモクロス2番4番手、少し後ろからスペシャルウィーク内を回ります。14番17番追走、そのうち並んで3番、その外並んでガイバ・スカーレット、その後ろエアグルーヴ内で5番、その後6番、その外並んで7番オグリキャップ追走内前のロブロイ、少し離れて9番後方2番手に12番、そして最後方10番、意気揚々と先頭を行きます。ツインターボどうでしょうこの展開。
ちょっとかかり気味かもしれないです。一息つけるといいですが。
大欅を越え4コーナーへ。さあいよいよ直線だ。どのタイミングで誰が仕掛けるのか。まだ1馬身以上の差があるぞ。ここから捉えることができるのか。気持ちよく出てくるツインターボ、ギリギリ詰めるマヤのトップガン。マヤのトップガンここで抜け出した。最後のコーナー、最初に立ち上がったのはマヤのトップガン。飛んでくるタマモクロス。400を切りました。並び続けたのはタマモクロス。タマモクロス抜け出したタマモクロス。負けられない負けられないと。
Come on. Yes.
最後意地を見せて栄冠を手にしました。やったとタマモ。
見たか。これが何話の真骨頂や。
Yes. I don't care that much about Next Frontier, but Mary McKinnon is the last one. Alright, we'll do wit instead of rest.
見せつけたる。
注目の2番人気16番タマモクロス。
一番人気こそ
ほな行くか。
年末の中山で争われる夢のグランプリ有馬記念。あなたの夢、私の夢は叶うのか。1番人気はもちろんこの子オグリキャップ。3番人気にはスーパークリーク。対抗するのはグランプリウマ娘タマモクロス。実力は1番人気にも引けを取りません。
私が一番期待しているウマ娘、気合い入れてほしいですね。
各ウマ娘ゲートに入って体勢整いました。スタートです。各ウマ娘綺麗なスタートを切りました。
みんな集中してましたね。好レースが期待できそうです。
先行争いは1番スーパークリークタマモクロス。期待通りの結果を出せるか。1番人気オグリキャップ。第4コーナーを進んで直線へ向かう。1番快調に飛ばしていきます。さあ花に立ったのは1番。このままリードすることができるか。先頭から大きく離されて2番手はスーパークリーク。外から行くオグリキャップ。少し後ろから永遠のオブランを1周目の直線スタンドの大歓声に迎えられながらウマ娘たちが走り抜ける。外でラリダ・ブライアン。少し離れてタマモクロス。少し後ろからリワハヤヒデ。そしてその後方には7番1馬身離れてダイワスターレット。2馬身3馬身開いてレーシングフラッシュ。2馬身離れて13番内には9番タマモクロス。落ち着かない様子。
スタミナを切らさないか心配です。
第1コーナー回って第2コーナー順位を振り返っていきます。依然として1番続きましたオグリキャップ。そしてその後ろから行くのはレイエモ・オペラ王。その外並んでラリダ・ブライアン。すぐに続いてスーパークリーク。それを見るようにタマモクロス。少し離れてリワハヤヒデ。それを見るようにダイワスターレット。1馬身離れて7番。それを見るようにレーシンフラッシュ。2馬身3馬身開いて13番。とどめをついて12番。向こう上面に入って先頭からしんがりまで
疾風陣雷ってな。
現在1番手はオグリキャップ。ここで先頭が入れ替わった。残り1000メートルを通過。すぐに続いてヘイエム・オペラ王。それを見るようにタマモクロス。4番手にラリダ・ブライアン。1馬身離れてリワハヤヒデ。それを見るように1番外からレーシンフラッシュ。少し離れてダイワスターレット。少し後ろからスーパークリーク。外から13番1馬身差。12番内を回ります9番。そしてその外から行ったのは10番。まもなく第4コーナーカーブ。
内から来るか外から来るか、最後の局面です。
この直線で勝負が決まるぞ。中山の直線は短いぞ。後ろの子たちは間に合うか。まだ1馬身以上の差があるぞ。ここから捉えることができるのか。タマモクロス速いもはや独走状態。100を通過。
Come on, come on, come on!
タマモクロス変わらない。
Come on, yes!
タマモクロスゴールイン。圧巻の走りでレースを制したタマモクロス。2大グランプリを制覇。実力ナンバーワンを見事に証明してみせました。2着オグリキャップ。3着に入ったのはエーシンフラッシュ。
見たか。これがなにわの極上や。
I think I'm in the URA finale now. Ah, fuck. Oh, 1 for 5. I don't care about watching winning 5. Because my 5 didn't win. Alright, URA finale.
戦学園すごいよな。施設充実っぷりやばいで。これならうちもスター街道を行こうか。
Did I accidentally press recreation? Oh my god. Alright, what's this race? I'm a pace chaser, so... Or rather, Tamamo Cross is. Well, maybe I prayed for victory. We'll see.
注目の1番人気12番タマモクロ。
ほな行こうか。
上空には灰色の空が広がる東京レース場。天気は何とか持ちこたえ、両馬場の発表です。
天気持ってくれるといいですね。
3番人気にはエアグルーヴ、2番人気を紹介しましょう。アドマイヤベガ、スタンドに押しかけたファンの期待を一身に背負ってグランプリウマ娘タマモクロス1番人気です。
火花散らすデッドヒートに期待しましょう。
ゲートイン完了。出走の準備が整いました。スタートです。各ウマ娘綺麗なスタートを切りました。
みんな集中してましたね。好レースが期待できそうです。
期待通りの結果を出せるか。1番人気タマモクロス、これから第2コーナーへかかっていきます。ツインターボ、快調に飛ばしていきます。先頭はツインターボ、単身で飛ばしていきます。2番手の位置で先頭を伺うのはアイレス風神、その外並んで14番、2コーナー回って向こう正面。先頭を行ったのはツインターボ、続きました14番、激しい先頭争い。アイレス風神追走、タマモクロスここにいます。5番手にスーパークリーク、内をついて3番、1馬審査15番、後ろエアグルーヴ、タマモクロスペースが速い。
スタミナを切らさないか心配です。
依然として14番、続いてアイレス風神、内ツインターボ、1馬審査タマモクロス、1馬身離れてスーパークリーク、1馬審査3番、1馬身離れてエアグルーヴ、その後ろから松影福来てる、1馬審査15番、その外並んでアドマイヤベガ、ナイスネイチャー並んでくる。外を回ります9番、さらに17番、そしてその外を回って18番、大欅を越え4コーナーへ。この直線で勝負が決まると。まだ1馬身以上の差があると。ここから捉えることができるのか。タマモクロス、外で足を止めています。タマモクロス、前を狙っていると。さあ誰が最初に仕掛けるのか。最後のコーナー、最初に勝ち上がったのはツインターボ、タマモクロス並んできた。栄光まで大きく上がってくるタマモクロス。抜け出したのはタマモクロス。
Oh my god.
残
Come on! Ah, by a head, I think. Oh, by a nose. Shit, that was close. Almost got beaten by that. What's her face? The horse whose name nobody can pronounce. Wow, that was a thriller. Okay. What is gonna net me the most? Oh, that's right. Okay, let's see. think this one's going to be more difficult.
注目の1番人気15番タマモクロ。
ほな行くか。
曇り空の下、京都レース場芝 2400URA ファイナルズ準決勝、18人の馬娘たちが挑みます。3番人気はこの子です。アグネス・タキオ。2番人気を紹介しましょう。東海帝王。さあ今日の主役はこの馬娘を置いて他にいないグランプリ馬娘タマモクロス。1番人気です。
火花散らすデッドヒートに期待しましょう。
ゲートイン完了。出走の準備が整いました。スタート。各馬娘綺麗なスタートを切りました。
みんな集中してましたね。好レースが期待できそうです。
期待通りの結果を出せるか。1番人気タマモクロス。16番会長に飛ばして行きます。さあ鼻に立ったのは16番。このままリードすることができるか。先頭から大きく離されて2番手は桜爆信号タマモクロス。ここにいた11番並んでくる。すぐに続いて2番その外並んでアグネス・タキオ。さらに東海帝王。外には当選ジョーダン。3番並びかけてきたダイワスカーレット。続いている第1コーナー回って第2コーナー。先頭は依然16番イワシンリード。続きました桜爆信号。3番手にはタマモクロス。4番手にアグネス・タキオ。そして内目をつきましては2番それを見るようにダイワスカーレット。さらに東海帝王11番並んでくる。少し離れて3番後ろビワハヤヒデ。それを見るように当選ジョーダン。あとは1番向こう上面に入って先頭からしんがりまでおよそ10馬身。順位を振り返っていきます。16番まだリードをキープしています。続いて桜爆信号。3番手アグネス・タキオ。4番手
疾風陣雷ってな。
タマモクロス。続いている1馬身離れて東海帝王。その外並んでダイワスカーレット。その内並んで3番少し離れて当選ジョーダン。残り 1000m を通過。さらに11番10番並んでくる。少し離れて9番。そしてその内から行ったのはビワハヤヒデ。マンハッタンカフェ並んできた。そしてその外から行ったのは1番少し後ろから18番。後方2番手に7番最後方12番。まもなく第4コーナーカーブ。
内から来るか外から来るか、最後の局面です。
まだ差がある。ここから先頭を捉えるのは出てくるのか。まだ1馬身以上の差があるぞ。
Oh, okay.
勝負は最後の直線に持ち越された。残り40。最後のコーナー最初に駆け抜けてきたのはタマモクロス。タマモクロス負けられない負けられないぞ。200を通過タマモクロス。足色を衰えるタマモクロス。
She looks happy.
先頭はタマモクロス。変わらない。
She looked happy. She knew she was going to win. You just feel it.
圧巻の走りでレースを制したタマモクロス。 URA ファイナルズ準決。
見たか。これがなにわのど根性や。
Yeah, I think Tamamo Cross, and maybe I'm a little, I don't know that I'm biased really, but I'm liking her more in the game than I did in the anime Cinderella Grey. But maybe that's just me. Do I go for wit or do I rest?
時やって分かってんねんけど。
My gut tells me just rest her.
でっかいやつにも小さいやつ。
All right. Finale. All right. Here goes nothing.
注目の1番人気2番タマモクロス。
人気と実
I think the only horse I've had a perfect career with. No, I've had two perfect careers, I think. With El Condor Pasa, and I think the Christmas Oguri. Like, I had perfect careers with them. First in every single race.
あいにくの雨が芝を濡らす。
Well, that's not going to be the case this time because Raishar beat me in those 2 races, so.
熾烈になりそうですね。
期待通りの結果を出せるか。1番人気タマモクロス、ミホノブルボン、快調に飛ばしていきます。さあ花に立ったのはミホノブルボン。このままリードすることができるか。2番手の位置で先頭を伺うのは5番1馬身離れて10番。さあ1コーナーから2コーナーへ向かっていく馬娘たち。先頭はミホノブルボン、単身で飛ばしていきます。続きました5番、その後ろから10番、4番手にはメジロライアン、そして内目をつきましてはタマモクロス、5馬身差6番外ヘイエムオペラ王、1番続いている。そしてゼンドロブロイ、その後ろに7番、その内並んで4番18番追走。第2コーナーを抜け向こう上面に入った。順位を振り返っていきます。先頭は変わらずミホノブルボン、続いて5番2馬身3馬身開いて10番4番手メジロライアン、1馬身離れてタマモクロス、3馬身差6番、さらにはヘイエムオペラ王、少し後ろから
疾風陣雷ってな。
少し離れて4番、さらには1番、さらに7番、それを見るようにゴールドシップ、内から内から18番、さらには13番、その外並んでハッピーミーク、11番並んでくる後方2番手にエルコンドルパッサー、そして最後方17番ミホノブルボン、先頭を進みますがこれは正解でしょうか。
ミホノブルボン、彼女の客室には合っていますね。
第4コーナーを進んで直線へ向かう。
勝負どころ、最後の直線へとかけていきます。
勝負は最後の直線に持ち越された。まだ差がここから先頭を捉え育ててくるのか。残り40分、最終コーナー
Oh shit.
立ち上がったのはミホノブルボン、タマモクロス、
Ooh.
抜け出したタマモクロス、ここから一気にちぎるか。
This is going to be a nail biter. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Just comes in right at the end. Mapuli Densetsu is going to be the song. Yeah, of course. Why not? All right. Almost got lost in the song. Well, I completed her career and I won the URA finale. I can't say that's bad. B+. I haven't gotten to A rank on anything yet, but hopefully soon. Not bad. Very happy with myself. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick break for a couple of minutes, just get some water and maybe a snack or something like that. So just hang tight here.
れでもあんたのこと少しは頼りにしてるのよ。ほら降り注ぐ冷たさもいつかはきっと変わってくよ。ミッションを達成したのね。これに満足せず次も頑張るわよ。まだ駆け抜ける途中でも信じられるよこの道を。イベントが始まってるわよ。一番目指して駆け抜けなきゃ。ほらぼーっとしないの。時間がもったいないでしょ。ほら降り注ぐ冷たさもいつかはきっと変わってくよ。お知らせが届いてるわね。忘れずチェックしなさいよ。まだ駆け抜ける途中でも信じられるよこの道を。本当にあんた変なやつよね。私なんかを支えたいだなんて。別に悪い気はしないけど。ウマ娘メーカーのレベルが上がったみたいよ。エアグルーブ先輩ってちょっとおっかないけどあの隙のなさは憧れるわ。タキヨンさんって優しいわよね。美味しい茶葉も分けてくれるしお役立ちグッズもくれるし。届いてるじゃない。ちょっと私にも見せなさい。ミッションを達成したのね。これに満足せず次も頑張るわよ。イベントが始まってるわよ。一番目指して駆け抜けなきゃ。タキヨンさんって優しいわよね。美味しい茶葉も分けてくれるしお役立ちグッズもくれるし。なんてないわ。この程度全然平気だし。ほらトレーニングするわよ。これでもあんたのこと少しは頼りにしてるのよ。ミッションを達成したのね。これに満足せず次も頑張るわよ。エアグルーブ先輩ってちょっとおっかないけどあの隙のなさは憧れるわ。今朝のテレビ占い2位ってなんか微妙な順位。悪くないけどもやっとする。
Alright, I'm back. Okay. I only wanted to do that one career run, so I'm just going to collect the rest of my coins. And then in a few minutes, once I'm done with this, we'll get to at least one React video, because I found one of those channels I subscribe to on YouTube that is Miata related, I guess, or car related. He put out a video that's very interesting. So, but I'll get to that in just a bit. Ara. Very classy getup. I have no idea what this is about. She's in a bad mood. What the fuck? This kind of exciting. Okay. I had to go into the kitchen and pour me another Arnold Palmer. Who drinks Arnold Palmers when it's like 10 degrees outside? Me, that's who.
注目のタマモクロス8枠9番での出走。
私が一番期待している馬娘、気合い入れてほしいですね。
ゲートイン完了。出走の準備が整いました。さあゲートが開いた。各馬娘揃って綺麗なスタートを切りました。
みんな集中してましたね。好レースが期待できそうです。
先行争いは名将怒涛、エルコンドルパター、タマモクロス、長丁場のこのレースですが、名将怒涛早くも先頭に躍り出た。間もなく第4コーナーカーブ。エルコンドルパター先頭に立ちました。2番手の位置で先頭を伺うのはダリダ・ブライアン。その後待機シャトル4番手には
So what's this? Am I competing against like 2 other teams of 3? I think.
1周目の直線、スタンドの大歓声に迎えられながら馬娘たちが走り抜ける。先頭は相変わらずエルコンドルパター、続きましたダリダ・ブライアン。あとは待機シャトル4番手に名将怒涛、その後からダイワスターレット、そして内目をつきましてはタマモクロス。1馬身離れて8番スペシャルウィーク。
This is a long race.
コーナーへ向かっていきます。順位を振り返っていきます。先頭エルコンドルパター、レースはよどみなく進んでいます。続いて名将怒涛、すぐに続いて待機シャトル、さらにはダイワスターレット、ダリダ・ブライアン。続いている2馬身3馬身開いてタマモクロス、少し離れて8番スペシャルウィーク、後ろ5番スペシャルウィーク、内の方からオグリキャップ。意気揚々と先頭を行きますエルコンドルパター。どうでしょうこの展開。
馬場状態を確認しながら走っている感じですね。まだ本気ではないですよ。
向こう上面に入って先頭から疾風陣雷ってな。残り1000メートルを通過。各馬娘一段となってスタンド状態の大混戦。
こんな風に一周していると紛れがありそうですね。
先頭は依然エルコンドルパター、2馬身リード。先頭から大きく離されて2番手は名将怒涛、さらに待機シャトル1馬身差8番スペシャルウィーク、そのうち並んでダイワスターレット1馬身離れて5番スペシャルウィーク。第4コーナーを進んで直線へ向かう。
馬娘たちがどう動くか目が離せません。
この直線で勝負が決まると。まだ差がある。ここから先頭を捉える人は出てくるのか。中山の直線は短いぞ。後ろの子たちは間に合うか。繰り下がる8番スペシャルウィーク、名将怒涛、強すぎる。完全に抜け出した。200を通過名将怒涛、足色は衰えない名将怒涛。リードは2馬身名将怒涛、今一着でゴールイン。勝ったのは名将怒涛。ライバルに打ち勝ち、見事大きな1勝を手にしました。2着8番スペシャルウィーク、3着オグリキャップ。結果は残せたな。
Oguri is the only one that did well. Oh well. Oh, I gotta do all 5? Okay, well, why not? This ought to be interesting.
4番
美しい青空が広がる中山レース場。ターフも絶好の両馬場になりました。
各馬娘の構想が期待できます。
現在1番人気はグランプリ馬娘待ちかね福来たる。2番人気を紹介しましょう。2冠馬娘琵琶早秀、注目のタマモクロス、4枠4番での出走。
私が一番期待している馬娘、気合い入れてほしいですね。
各馬娘ゲートに入って体勢整いました。今スタートが切られました。各馬娘揃って綺麗なスタートを切りました。
誰が先頭に抜け出すか注目しましょう。
待ちかね福来たる、現在最高峰失策。頭 た狙い通りか。
これはきっと作戦でしょう。彼女には爆発的な末足があります。
まもなく第4コーナーカーブ、マヤのトップが快調に飛ばして行きます。先頭集団を見ていきましょう。さあ花に立ったのはマヤのトップガン。このままリードすることができるか。先頭から大きく離されて2番手はスーパークリーク。1周目の直線、スタンドの大歓声に迎えられながら馬娘たちが走り抜ける。それを見るようにビワハヤヒデ、タマモクロス、4番手少し離れて待機シャトル。ここまでが先頭集団。先頭は以前マヤのトップガン、2馬身リード。続いてスーパークリーク、1馬身離れてビワハヤヒデ。第1コーナー回って第2コーナー、マヤのトップガンまだリードをキープしています。続きましたスーパークリーク、そしてその後ろから行くのはビワハヤヒデ。1馬身離れて待機シャトル。あとはタマモクロス、後ろグラスワンダー。1馬身離れてゴールドチップ、外目をついて待ちかね福来た。1馬身離れてオグリーキャップ。意気揚々と先頭へ行きます。マヤのトップガン、どうでしょうこの展開。
ちょっとかかり気味かもしれないです。一息つけるといいですが、
各馬娘一打となって断固状態の大混戦。
お互いに牽制し合っているようですね。
向こう上面に入って先頭からしんがりまでおよそ6馬身、残り 1000m を通過。現在1番手はビワハヤヒデ、スーパークリーク続いている。1馬身差マヤのトップガン、そして外目をつきましてはゴールドチップ。1馬身差待機シャトル、グラスワンダー並んでくる。さらには待ちかね福来た、内でタマモクロス、さらにはオグリーキャップ。ビワハヤヒデ先頭を進みますが、これは正解でしょうか。
ちょっとかかり気味かもしれないです。息を入れるタイミングがあればいいです
第5コーナーを進んで直線に向かう。中山の直線が短いぞ。後ろの子たちは間に合うか。互いに足を止めている展開。果たして抜け出すのは誰か。ゴールドシップ、ここで抜け出した。200を通過。ゴールドシップ、譲らないゴールドシップ。8色。
Oguri's the only one who does well. I don't get it. Alright. We'll do the rest of these. I think I'm gonna lose all of them though.
7番人気は7番タマモ。美しい青。さあゲートが開いた。各馬娘まもなく第4コーナー。
あと一歩及ばない。勝ちに行こう。5番タマモクロス。晴れ渡る空のスタート。いいスタートを切ったのは待たせたな。これが
Well, okay, so she won. Oh, that's not bad at all. Why can't I do that at least, you know, 2 more times? Can't win every race though. So that's gonna be 4 losses and 1 win. Oh well.
楽しかったな。
consolation prize. That's not bad. Okay, so I at least did it once. Oh, okay.
このゴールドシップ様を呼んだか？ああ、タマノクロスや。
実力
Oh
は引けを取
shoot.
りません。
You know what? Hold on.
実力は引けを取りません。2番
It was too late for me to add some items.
ほな行くか。
曇り空のもと。さあゲートが開いた。各馬娘揃って綺麗なスタートを切り第4コーナーカーブ。馬娘
Yay, she won. Fuck you, Grass Wonder.
今回もお勉強させてください。今回もお勉強させてください。このティアラ似合ってるでしょ。トルセン学園に合格したお祝いでママにもらったのよ。
This is what they call, I guess, completing your dailies. That's what I'm doing.
名鑑レベルが上がると私は一番の馬娘になる。
Okay, I think that I've made enough progress on this game. So I'm gonna do a react or two video now. So let me switch scenes here. Okay, so I've got YouTube channel Jubal and Cars pulled up here, and what we're gonna watch is basically he put out a video I think a day ago, and it's already had like 3,000 views, where he says best 10K Japanese driver's car, 92 NA Miata or an 87 Toyota MR2 AW11. That's the first generation of the MR2. The reason I find this interesting, besides the fact that it features a Miata, and I'm assuming it's a 1.6 because it's a 92, is that, and I've mentioned this in previous streams, the only car that I've ever driven that I've had as much fun driving as any generation Miata is a first generation MR2. If you know, my roommate had one. He had a black one that I think was a 87 or something like that he drove, and I got to drive that a couple of times. And it's the only car that I like I said, it's the only car that I've driven that's as fun as driving any generation of Miata. So I'm interested to see what he has to say in this video. I don't like watching him all that much, but you know, this is one of those cases where the headline kind of grabbed my attention. So we'll let's look at this. Hold on. Let me. I think it's easier if I move to this side, because usually I have this scene open where I'm on the left if I'm looking at like Facebook Marketplace ads. But in this case, since I'm reacting to a YouTube video, it's best to be on this side, I think. So, alrighty. Let's go ahead and play this, see what he has to say.
We have two Japanese answers to the question, how do you make driving fun with low horsepower. We
But
have a 1987
If I need to adjust the volume of the video, it needs to go up a little bit. Just let me know, or down, you know, so.
Toyota MR2, that's the AW11 generation, against a 1992 Mazda Miata, the NA. Both are powered by 1.6-liter naturally aspirated inline-4 engines, both rev to over 7,000 RPM, and both are weighing in.
I love how, you know, the one thing I do like about the AW11 MR2 is that it looks unapologetically like 80s. And it came out, I think, model year 85 the first time, for the first model year. Whereas this was released in 89 for the 1990 model year, at least in the States. So this is by all means a half a decade newer car. And it looks like it's actually kind of a 90s car, a little bit, but with some 80s elements in it. But the AW11 is totally an 80s car.
Right around 2,300 pounds. You can also get each of these for around $10,000, plus or minus depending on how clean and low mileage that example. The MR2, of course, standing for mid-engine, rear-wheel drive, two-seater, is powered by the 1.6-liter inline-4 naturally aspirated 4A GE engine, the legendary engine, of course, from the original AE86, making 112 horsepower at 6,600 RPM, 97 pound-feet at 4,800 RPM with a 7,500 RPM redline. That's made it to a 5-speed manual transmission. We have an open diff, again 2,300 pounds with a 45 to 55 front-to-rear weight distribution, strut suspension both front and rear, unassisted manual rack, and in terms of options, this has the T-top, power windows, and power door locks. And in terms of mods, the owner Mark has done Godspeed, Monomax coilovers, Circuit Performance CP40 15x8 wheels, wrapped in 205 section width Gladiator X-Comp HP tires, and also an aftermarket shift knob. Now, the Miata is also powered by a 1.6-liter inline-4 naturally aspirated engine, but this one is making 116 horsepower at 6,500 RPM, 100 pound-feet at 5,500 RPM, with a 7,200 RPM redline. Bit of a newer engine, newer technology. Keep in mind, the AW11 came out in 1984, the NA Miata came out in 1989, and for a lot of the NA Miata's life, they actually had the second-gen MR2 because they stopped making the first-gen shortly after the NA Miata was released. Here we also have a 5-speed manual transmission, but this one has a viscous LSD. Unlike the MR2, we have a front-engine rear-wheel drive, weighing in at 2,200 pounds with a 52-48 front-to-rear weight distribution and double wishbone in all four corners. We have hydraulic steering, and in terms of mods, the owner Joe has done the Roadster Sport 4 exhaust with baffle.
I will say, I mean, like, I know that I say RPF ones are overplayed, but I have yet to find a car they look bad on. So really, I mean, it's kind of the go-to, like, aftermarket wheel if you want to spend, like, $1,200, $1,300. I mean, you know, what else can I say? They look good on this car, I think.
Techna coilovers with touring springs, front and rear sway bars, some brake upgrades including G-Lock street pads, and RPF1 15x8 wheels wrapped in 205 section with Continental Extreme Contact Sport 2 tires. You can find the full mod list as always down in the description. Gotta love how both of these cars also have the super cool pop-up headlights. The interior in the Miata, I'm 6'1". It's not ideal, but it's actually not that bad. You don't have any telescope or tilt to the steering wheel, but I'm able to get the seat all the way back, and it's not too painful. My head does barely touch the soft top here. We only have about 60,000 miles on this example. Interior is in great shape. Nice short shifter right here. Very purpose-built, and this has the manual roll-up windows too. Cool little throwback. Look at her go! Actually, a surprisingly smooth little inline 4-cylinder with a beautiful
I like how
with this shifter. I mean, this shifter, I can't believe it is.
He just blacks out the speedometer.
So crisp. Miata shifters have always felt more expensive, like they belong in a car worth several times the price of this. They have that nice, notchy, tight mechanical feeling without feeling overly notchy and light like a...
I feel like that's... I feel like that's more of a damning statement on every other shifter in the market than a great statement about the Miata shifter, which is, I mean, from the factory, it's a good shifter. Any generation.
A FRS or a GR86. The steering does have a little bit of play right off center, and it's quite light. Ratio is also slower because, of course, this is contemporary with the time in the early 90s. Inputs were just a little bit longer.
This video's 20
although, again,
minutes
the
long.
shifter feels quite modern compared to the other inputs. Hydraulic steering, not giving us tons of road texture and feedback, but certainly more than a lot of modern cars that are so numb and insulated. And that's really what these older cars are about. They're about helping you feel the experience behind the wheel. It's not just this disconnected, highly insulated experience, because newer cars, they want to get you from point A to point B safer, faster, and more comfort. And cars from this generation didn't have those same priorities. And sure, today's sports cars, they're going to be so much faster and give you a little bit of communication, but they're still overall so insulated and so numb in comparison. And while these older cars like this NA Miata are
That's just
so
electric
down
power
on
steering.
it's that slow car fast mentality. Third gear, pushing it all the way up to red line.
He has a really good friend, because I would never let a friend just
Getting your little heel
take my
toe,
car up to red line
feeling
every
the weight
time like this.
transfer, because it's still a pretty supple suspension even with the mods.
I'd be like, no, fuck you, you ain't driving my car anymore.
Not really enough power to overwhelm the rear tires or get much rotation, especially when you're going uphill like this. But try pushing it to third at redline on a canyon road in something like a GT3. I mean, a totally different philosophy. But this car isn't so old that it feels sketchy. I mean, the sketchiest thing about it is that I am concerned about drivers texting and driving or being distracted on their phone and hitting me in this car, and then the safety issues with a 2200 power, 30-plus-year-old little roadster. But the actual inputs, the way that the car drives, is not sketchy. You have disc brakes. You don't have ABS. That is a little bit sketchy.
I don't know about
But you
that.
shouldn't
You
be
just
pushing
need to
it
know
that
how
hard on the
to do
canyons
threshold
anyways.
braking.
You really need it. And I've actually driven this car in a couple iterations. I drove it when it was bone stock. You can find that link below. And I also drove it when the owner has done most of the mods minus the rear sway bars. And just doing these few choice mods actually really wakes up the car, wakes up the driving experience. It makes it feel so much more confident and inspiring. And it allows you to trust the vehicle more as you start pushing it a bit harder. Not quite as wallowy, a little bit more immediate. You don't want something that's super taut, especially in a car like this, because you're concerned that, first of all, it doesn't fit the character, and secondly, when you are pushing it, you get false confidence. You don't want it to just give away. Having something that's more moderately sprung, as this example is really what you want to do. And the NA Miata is also one of those cars that just gets constant good vibes from everyone wherever you go. Oh, this shitty road is in even shittier shape than normal.
That's a cell phone. You should have done your recce before
We'll have to
you
repaving a lot of
your
these
reese
sections.
before you
But if you roll
filmed
up
this
in
video.
certain kinds of Porsches or Ferrari or Lambo, sometimes you get some negative attention and judgment, but in this thing it's always good vibes. You got the pop-up headlights, the cute, adorable nature of the NA Miata. But it's not like you're making some significant compromises to get in a car like that and to drive it around. You actually love the experience behind the wheel because it feels, again, communicative enough, joyful enough, whimsical and playful and fun enough. And also at a really affordable price point. Now, older chassis over some of these larger bumps, you can definitely feel the lack of chassis rigidity compared to newer cars such as my new ND Miata, which also has high coilovers, by the way. And it's for these kinds of reasons that the NA Miata, from my perspective, is best enjoyed driving 6/10. It's not like my ND Miata where it really comes alive even up to 9 or 10/10. At least the way this current example is set up. Now going downhill, can really feel that weight transfer, sway bars doing their thing, keeping it relatively level. Nice and short wheelbase. Also light cars, your inputs, they immediately translate to movement in the car. And right there where I was doing a little bit of trail braking, you can actually help the car rotate. The Miatas have always been very happy to rotate on braking. Heel toe is an absolute cinch. Even though I'm wearing size 13 wide toe box shoes and a small little Miata, they have designed the ergonomics even from the beginning with the NA Miata in such a phenomenal way. Truly, truly incredible. Kudos to Mazda. The reason why the Miata is the epitome of slow car fast isn't just because of how light it is or the fact that it has a good, weight distribution, short wheelbase, but it's also just the calibration of the inputs. That is something that, like just doing a double clutch like that, there's no learning curve. Same thing in the second. It's just such a natural way of the clutch, the throttle, the gear shift, all being calibrated and working together in a way that is absolutely just phenomenally done. And it's the little details like that that come together and make a really cohesive and well-rounded driving experience. And you combine that with the light chassis, the good fundamentals, because different kind of philosophy. The Toyota MR2, they said let's do open diff and let's do strut suspension all 4 corners, and the Miata they focus a bit more on some of those fundamentals like the double wishbone in all 4 corners and an LSD as an example. Also keep in mind 5 years newer of a vehicle. But now let's see how it compares to the AW11 MR2. Definitely more 80s styling to this, sharper edges, whereas the NA Miata very much 90s, rounder edges. Also, this is the post facelift, so you have this really cool looking steering wheel. Looks like maybe the prior owner also wrapped this in leather, because you can see that's definitely not OEM.
That looks real
Love
nice.
This.
That interior.
Back in the 80s, they knew that we were going to have iPhones, so they made a little iPhone holder like that. Not sure if that's a roll of quarters or if the car's just happy to see me. And interestingly, more space here, actually quite a bit. It's almost like a miniature NSX in terms of the cockpit view, the NSX being...
That is an aftermarket shift knob there, by the way. The OEM shift knob on the AW11 is kind of like a banana shape.
Inspired by the F16. And I actually have more legroom here. I can move the seat up.
That steering wheel's OEM, though. Everything else looks pretty much OEM on the interior as well.
A bit further back, aftermarket shift knob, but everything else here is actually pretty stock. A little bit more spacious. Still, again, very 80s styling with the...
I think he's got power windows, because the roll-up cranks would be like right here, and there's an outline cut for it, but I don't see... I'm not seeing it there, because that's where the roll-up cranks would be. So I think he has power windows.
The sharper edges. And incredibly, we have power adjustable side view mirrors, which...
Oh, if he has power mirrors, then he probably has power windows. But can you tell he looks a little bit disoriented in this car? Because it's almost like it's 280s for him.
Which is really impressive for a car made in the 80s. Super cool. Oh wow, the steering already. Unassisted rack. Can feel everything. Just look at it. Look at it chatter away. Love that. This is going to be a good drive. So first impressions, the actual spokes here on the steering, it makes it kind of hard to drive at 9 and 3. You're almost driving at like 830 and 330 like this, or you go up here, but then your hands. It is kind of a strange positioning. But the leather here feels nice. I feel like that's probably a bit nicer than just the hard plastic underneath. And you really see the difference in terms of input tuning philosophy immediately, absolutely immediately. The clutch here, the engagement point.
Why are complaining about like the spokes? Like a lot of 80s cars are like this. I mean, this steering wheel kind of reminds me a little bit of that, like the FC RX-7 steering wheel from I think 88 and maybe 87, 88 and 89 maybe.
Is super low, whereas in the NA Miata it feels a little bit more natural, kind of in the middle. The shifter, very sloppy side to side, right? And super long throws. The NA Miata has actually pretty modern, tight, and shorter throws. This one is a little more loosey-goosey, not quite as bad as a lot of the ZZW30s, the 3rd gen MR2s that I've driven, but this is definitely not nearly as good as Mark, the owner's 2nd gen MR2. He actually owns all 3 generations of MR2, so if you want to see the upcoming 3-way comparison, subscribe, because that is coming in the near future. But that one, he has like an aftermarket shifter, and it feels so tight and modern, just like the NA Miata. Giving it the beans! In terms of power to weight, both of these cars are quite close. I'd say initial impression is that this might be a bit quicker, at least in first gear. Not sure what the gear ratios are. Maybe it's a bit shorter. But once you start getting to these higher speeds, this one actually...
I would say the reason it's almost all the reason it's quicker in first gear is probably because you're looking at mid-engine versus, you know, front engine or front mid-engine like you got with NA. That's pretty much it, I think.
Actually starts feeling a bit out of breath compared to that NA. I absolutely adore the steering. There's still a bit of slop here, and it's a super slow ratio. The NA Miata already is a slower ratio, but remember, with a manual rack, to have that leverage, to not make the steering too heavy, you have to slow it down. And therefore, really slow ratio here. When you're at 4,000 or below, engine is completely gutless, so let's keep it above. Feeling so much through the steering though, I absolutely love it. Every little camber change and road texture gets transmitted seamlessly, even though there's a bit of slop. Still a lot of communication. Well, neither of these cars have ABS, and with these shorter wheelbase mid-engine cars, you're gonna have to be a bit more mindful about lift-off oversteer. Oh yeah, you can really feel that steering weight up there as you load it up. Yeah, this does feel a little bit more sluggish than that NA Miata actually. Especially when we have some incline here. But it's not too far off. Go, baby, go!
Hey, sorry.
Now both of these cars have more budget-friendly coilovers, and you feel it. You know, the actual ride, there is a good degree of compliance, but still, these are older cars, also more budget-friendly coilovers, so there is a little bit of harshness and impact, but it's not bad. It actually feels period correct. Definitely better than stock, not quite as wallowy. This car does feel relatively planted.
Well, it's a little bit heavier
in that
and
regard
it's
to
mid-engine.
the Miata. But you also have to keep in mind, you don't necessarily want to have top-tier coilovers and suspension, because first of all, the cars are cheaper and lighter, but also the chassis rigidity isn't quite there to allow higher-end suspension to really do its thing, because you're having more chassis flex and such. Throttle response here on that double clutch, it was a little bit under revved, whereas the NA Miata, it just natural and perfectly calibrated here. Throttle does feel a little bit long with the throw, a little bit gradual. You have to jab it a bit harder than you may otherwise think. You gotta love how this car, the older car, actually has the power windows and the power side views, as we already discussed. The interior here, I just feel like I'm driving something a little bit more special and unique. It has, again, like a miniature NSX kind of vibe to it, and my favorite part about the car is that,
Well, of course it's gonna have an NSX vibe to it. It's freaking rear engine or mid engine. That's why.
actually literally just the steering.
Like
It
literally
is-
every single thing that he's talked about when he's driving this car applies to almost every mid engine car. I
so alive and talkative. The variation in terms of the weight and the amount of information you get is so
100%.
high, especially for
Sorry,
an older
I
car.
agree.
And you know, even though the transmission is a little bit long and clunky,
And you know, people want the second generation car, the SW20, because if they can get the turbo and then run into the wall because of snap oversteer, you know, that's just a cool thing to do, right?
it depends on how, like the NA Miata's inputs are so much more cohesive. But if you really love steering like I do, then the steering here is just so good. Even with the slop, even with the, you know, the lack of immediacy that you get from modern cars, it just still feels excellent.
He should have picked a better road to drive on. There's so many better roads in California. I mean, there's no excuse for this.
Jabbing that throttle a bit harder to get that match just right. Also have a short wheelbase, okay. Just a hint of push right there on getting on
We'll
throttle.
spot one for 7K, but had really, yeah, a lot of them have very bad rust. Worse than anything you'd see on an NA Miata. My roommates had just a little bit, but it honestly wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I can imagine that if you were pushing both cars at like 7, 8, 9 tenths, this car would probably be a little bit scarier to drive just because of the mid-engine balance. But I mean, the way that I'm driving the car right now, we're going 6 tenths. Not scary, not really an issue. Now these did come with a supercharged option. This is of course the naturally aspirated. And even then, you're not making that much power.
Yeah, you could get this with a supercharger from the factory on the AW11. The SW20 you could get a turbocharger. I think the SW20s are just more sought after because they're more powerful and they made fewer of them. They also made, I think, how many? They made like 400,000 of these. I think Toyota did the first gen. Don't quote me on that number though.
That I think this car would be scary to drive. But again, between this and the Miata, this one would probably require a bit more from the driver. And also, if you do get out of hand and you need to counter steer, because it has a slower ratio rack and also it's unassisted, you have to be quick with your hands. But when you get to the second and third gen MR2s, then,
Yeah, I wouldn't
those
want to deal
cars
with
are
rust
gonna be
either.
more willing to fight. You have a greater performance ceiling, much more power, especially if you go with the turbo second gen.
That's something I always look
You can
for.
find that review, actually that comparison of second and third gen down below. And I gotta say, I really adore this car. First time behind the wheel of an AW11, and it's winning me over, guys. I mean, it's essentially a mid-engine Miata, a mid-engine NA Miata, I should say, that has
Can't go
better
wrong with a
steering,
4AGE.
worse other inputs, but feels so special and is also incredibly rewarding to drive.
My roommate's actually got one
There
in the
we go,
garage
little
right
heel
now.
toe double clutch.
A 4AGE that he's putting back together to put in his
Oh,
K-van.
nice little speedster. Let's go. And there you have it. By the way, you like that license plate? Definitely Jinbai Itai, horse and rider philosophy to the Miata. The other thing, the chassis is certainly stiffer here, and we have more supple suspension.
Well, okay, so, you know, all right, I'll give him an excuse for coming out to the desert because he's probably meeting his friend, and that looks like a Nevada license plate, not California, so sorry about that. That was, I still think you can find better roads though.
A little bit underdamped. You could have seen a bit excess motion over some of those larger bumps. Whereas in the Miata, the suspension is higher quality. It feels the damping is a bit better, but it kind of overwhelms the chassis because the chassis there is reduced in rigidity, the convertible, of course, being a large compromise, and the suspension almost overwhelms it. Whereas here, it feels like you can get a bit more out of the suspension, and the chassis can handle it. Here, you actually have to press the little button to get the key out.
Yeah.
Fully release the ignition. Here's how I would summarize it. I think both of these actually offer a very... And fully release the ignition.
Want to show you something.
Here's how I would summarize it. I think...
Those are T-tops. T-tops are very 80s/90s. Really, they started in the 60s, but with the C3 Corvette. But like, T-tops are ubiquitous to 80s and 90s sports cars, and they all leak unless you replace the seals every 10 years. But if you want open-air driving experience, you can always remove these. The SW20 also, I think, came with T-tops as standard. So, yeah, this is what I like. The AW11 is unapologetically an 80s car. First, like I said, first model year was 85, whereas the NA Miata, the first model year was 1990. So both cars were designed in the 80s, actually. It's just you're looking at early 80s design and engineering versus, you know, here late 80s design and engineering. That's really the difference.
Both of these actually offer a very...
I like those wheels too. He picked good wheels. You know, you could do the safe thing and put, you know, RPF 1s on just everything, but no, he picked a good wheel, whoever his friend is who owns this.
Comparable and similar driving experience. And you're going to say, wait, how can you say that? One's front engine, one's mid engine? Sure, but like when you zoom out and you look in modern day, both of these are...
And let me tell you something. If you have both of these next to each other in your driveway, people are going to come up to you and they're going to talk. They're going to be like, man, you have such cool cars. I love your cars. Ooh. You know, that's just... I've driven an AW11, like I said. I've driven SW20s too. I have a friend who owns one. I don't like the SW20 as much, even though it has more power, but that's kind of a rant for another day. And I'll get more into that if I get a chance to do like maybe a review of his car.
Are very lightweight, just a little bit over 2,000 pounds. Both of these are bringing that ethos from the late 80s to early 90s. They have a lot more communication. They're very much slow car fast, and they have very similar power to weight ratio. The way I would put it is this: if you care about aftermarket support, you're really...
let's admire that picture. I'm gonna tell you here because I know you're not where I am, but CRXs in the U.S. are kind of let's just say the market's really overpriced for those because most of them has been trashed, and the good ones go for 5 figures now. It's kind of like these two cars. If you want a good NA Miata now, like the floor is becoming 10K. It's the same with the AW11 MR2. If you want a good one, you gotta spend at least $8,000, $9,000, $10,000. And I mean, that's the title of this video. It's like best 10K Japanese driver's car. By saying 10K, it's assuming you are going to spend $10,000 and you're going to get a good, relatively clean example. So, yeah, I'd say CRXs. I mean, like if you want a running and driving one that's a little bit trashed, you could probably get one for like 6, 7, 8 maybe. But if you want a decent one, they're 10. The problem is the CRX has been so modded and so sought after among and driven by enthusiasts for so long, for like 10, 15 years now, that it's been enough time. It's been an enthusiast car for a long enough time that there are not many clean examples anymore, unfortunately. You could say the same thing about maybe the FB and the FCRX7, and then you're also dealing with a rotary engine there, so that kind of compounds the rarity factor of a good clean one.
Really a stickler for input quality and consistency.
I want to say this is just black, but the I'm a sucker for blue, and there's like a light metallic, like teal blue for these, but I kind of want the dark metallic blue if I ever get one of these, because it'll match my 96 M edition. have them parked into the garage next to each other. I keep saying if I get a third car, I'm going to get another Miata, but honestly, this wouldn't be a bad choice. It'd be cheaper than buying a new ND or BRZ, that's for sure.
And you want something that is tried and true, then the NA Miata is probably your bet. It's also a bit easier to drive, especially when you start pushing it harder. Whereas the AW11 MR2, this is truly special. There are so few of these in comparison to an NA Miata, and it has better steering. The other inputs aren't quite as calibrated compared to the NA Miata. But if you want something that is, again, similarly priced but feels far more special and unique and has that mid-engine balance, which has its pros and cons, then you go with the AW11
Yeah, he's
MR2.
got a classic plate.
Again, either way,
He's
both
from
of these
Nevada.
are such awesome options. And for only around $10,000, again, plus or minus depending on condition, a lot of fun behind the wheel. My friends, let me know what you think with a comment down below. Big shout
I kind of think, the AW11, most cars with pop-up headlights, the NA Miata has a face, but most cars with pop-up headlights, even if they're like the square ones, you don't have much of a face, but you do with this car for some reason. It's kind of like this smirky little grin that you have here. It's like it's gritting its teeth or something. I also like the badge that they gave the MR2. It's kind of like, I think, like an eagle. But it's more reminiscent of like maybe like a German eagle or something like that than an American eagle. I don't know. It's weird. If you ever see one in person or want to look online what it looks like.
Shout out to the owners Joe and Mark for letting me review their cars. And if you want your car reviewed, visit us on jabalandcars.com. Fill out the form on the homepage. Much love, my friends, and I'll see you in that next one. We have two.
Okay, so yeah, the Mazda 323 there. I think there were just a lot more of those made over in other parts of the world than in the U.S. And I think I was reading something. I think when I studied transportation in like graduate school years ago, one thing I read or one thing I learned was that the United States automobile fleet turns over completely once, I think, every 18 years. What I mean by that is that it takes 18 years for 99.5% of all vehicles to get on the road and then get taken off the road. It goes through one cycle like that every 18 years or so. It's probably expanded closer to 20 years now, I would say, with people keeping cars longer. And in most states, classic cars are considered anything 25 model years or older. Let me see if I can find another video. 'Cause now I'm curious. Oh, that's right. Regular Car Reviews did a review like very, very recently. Let me see if I can find it. I'll just go to his channel. He did an A70 Supra, I remember. I know he had some Instagram reels about the AW11. Let me search within his channel, though. Well, yeah, he had a full video on comparing these two cars that I've watched, but I kind of would be willing to watch again. Let's see what he
I owned
said
a
in the show.
Toyota AW11 Mark 1B. The B indicates that they made a change in the transmission to stop fifth gear pop out, because that's a problem that some first gens had.
Yeah, fifth gear pop out. I think it was the first couple of model years. So yeah, there is, and my roommate, when he mentioned this, when he owned an AW11, he said, get the AW11B, because the B is the one that doesn't have that fifth gear pop out, I think. And that would be like, I think, model year 87, 88. I don't remember, but yeah, that's an important point to note.
If you goosed it too much in fifth gear, the torque would pull the transmission out of fifth gear. But the Mark 1B doesn't have that problem. But one of the more frustrating things about owning an MR2, and don't get me wrong, it's a fantastic car. If you want one, go get one, is that on long road trips, I started wearing one earplug in my right ear because it's a mid-engine car and your engine is there. So out on the Pennsylvania Turnpike, driving this thing to Pittsburgh, you just hear for 5 hours right there. God, I miss that car though. It was so well made.
All right. Oh yeah, okay.
The
So
mythic supercharged
one. Okay, let's watch this
AW11
video.
is a vehicle that I've always
And this one's supercharged. Oh, it's the color I want. Ooh, this dark blue, yes. Give me.
wanted to drive, but most of them are always, you know, they're bring a trailer stuff. They're cars and bids. And with the exception of the prime built Gen 1.5, the one with the Caldina engine with the water to air intercool that Justin Burnash's company built, I've never been able to get close to the real supercharged AW11. But here in the Wisconsin Dells, there is one. It's ready to drive. And there are a few things in this video that are going to relate to my AW11 that I just rebought. And I know this is a strange way to start a review of a car, but we're going to start with maintenance. Because
I want to say he mentioned he just bought an AW11. I think he mentioned in an Instagram reel or something, the one that he bought was the one that he originally sold. So he actually bought it back after he'd not had it for some number of years, but I don't remember exactly the whole story.
Because one of the intimidating maintenance procedures of an AW11 is its cooling system. Because not only do you have the amount of coolant
Love that blue.
in your engine block and the coolant that's in the radiator in the front, but you also have the equivalent amount of coolant in the hard lines that run underneath. These cars, and you're going to hear me say this in future reviews, these cars have 4 gallons of coolant in them. You have the same amount of coolant in the hard lines as you do in the radiator.
Y'all like subtitles?
Which means, and I love this actually tidbit about AW11s, you can track these cars with no modifications to the cooling system. There's just so much coolant in them, they don't overheat. So, thank you for bringing this. Can we start with how you burp this motherfucker?
Okay. If you look down on top of the transmission there, you'll see sort of the whole assembly for the...
I see a little plastic knob.
Yeah, and normally that runs over here to the coolant tank.
Uh-huh.
What you'll want to do is take this, disconnect it, and raise it up to like here.
This tube?
Yeah, your overflow tube, and raise it well above where your filler neck is.
Okay. I saw people getting dowels and then just zip tying the hose to the dowels.
That works. It doesn't need to be straight up and down. It just needs to be above the filler neck.
Okay.
That's your one bleed point on this thing.
And that's that bleed point, this little knob right there, that is the thermostat housing?
Yeah, thermostat housing down there. The NA is just the same assembly.
And I don't have to deal with an intercooler being right
that's
here.
a giant pain in the ass. So many of the instruction manuals say, just reach in there and get at it. I'm like, my hands are not small and Asian enough for that.
Where is, okay, the next bleed point is...
Next bleed point, well, this is the other one, but that's normal.
Obviously, yeah.
Next 2 are up front.
The thing I love about the trunk popper in here...
See, when I was talking about the logo, I don't know what kind of eagle that is. It's just that looks kind of like Roman, maybe. I don't know. Doesn't look like an American style eagle.
Is that it's the same?
God, I love that color. It looks a tinge too green for me though, but I think there's a variant of this color. Like they made another dark blue that's more like a purple. I want that one.
Same hood release as every Toyota ever, including our mutual friends LFA. It's the same part number that's in that.
No shit.
That's in the formerly $1.2 million LFA. It's that one thing that's everything else about the LFA was bespoke, but yeah. All right,
so here's your bleed on the radiator right there.
Okay, and that's just a hand pop there, and then run that up your.
Basically, run it up here. I usually just run a loop through here.
Yep.
And then there's the other one, which is. It's been a while since I've been in here. I can't remember how to get to it. It's a lot easier if you take out this giant piece of plastic. Yeah. Because there's going to be the radiator core back there.
Even the heater core?
Yeah, the heater core. And yeah, it's hard to see, but it's down in there.
So the thing is, take your spare tire out. Take this support.
Don't need to take the support out. You can the plastic will come out.
Okay.
But then there'll be another bleeder valve just like that.
Mm-hmm.
Run another piece of vinyl tubing up here. Just make sure it's higher than the fill neck.
Mm-hmm.
Open them all up.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take them out all the way, otherwise they'll just all dump out.
Mm-hmm.
What really helps too is put the back of the car up like 12 inches. Put it in the back on some jack stands.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, so the nose is facing downward, the back is up. That really helps the bubbles get out of the system.
Okay. And then just let it run. Let it run,
Basically,
let it run,
fill
let
it up, let it run, let it come up to temp, watch for bubbles, and then basically start at the lowest point of the system, or at least I always start at the front. Once I no more bubbles are coming out of the radiator, I close that one.
Mm-hmm.
Watch for the heater core, no more bubbles coming out of that one, I close it. Wait for the back, the back bleeder, no more bubbles, close it. This whole time you're going to be topping it off as you're going.
Okay. Does it like Honda specific coolant, or can you just put the regular Prestone in it?
I use whatever.
Honda.
I mean Toyota.
Honda.
No, this will use any whatever coolant as long as it's decent quality. Doesn't need anything special. This well predates that.
And you also said that these parts, these little plastic parts, are available from like Rock Auto or something like that?
This is a whole new radiator.
Okay.
The other one got damaged when we were lifting it up and it slipped off the jack. And
oops.
This, I don't know about this one specifically, but the ones in Toyota are made out of a white nylon that usually is turned to powder by now.
Mm-hmm.
And you can really only get those from Toyota.
Okay, so that is a go to the dealership and
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I replaced mine in 2008. They're about $10 each. They weren't terrible.
Okay, you had to go to a dealership though?
Yeah, I couldn't find any place to get it.
Okay.
There's a lot of kind of bespoke parts on this.
Do you remember the part numbers for them?
No, but they're in the Toyota Big Green Book, the big service manual you can get from Toyota.
Okay.
Which I highly recommend getting.
Okay, so I need to find a dealership with a competent parts manager who is willing to do his job.
Yes.
Yes.
So good luck with that.
Thanks. What PSI does it's a root style blower,
yeah,
right?
Root style. It's like 7 or 8. It's not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have a boost gauge that became so stupid because all it did was show 7 or nothing.
Okay.
I took it out.
Okay.
I know people like to put on overdrive pulleys, but everything I've heard shreds the supercharger, does not like spinning fast.
Cool. Well, I can't wait any longer. Let's go for a drive.
Okay.
Were all the supercharged versions T-tops?
All of them. So they're kind of heavy.
The differences between the supercharged and naturally aspirated AW11s is they rev to the same RPM, but this has a 150 mile an hour speedometer. I don't know if this engine can spin that fast.
I wouldn't go that fast. The car gets really floaty up at 100.
Yeah. Oh, you've had this thing to the ton?
Yeah.
On a closed road in Mexico?
Yes.
Yeah. And this is, I remember this is the California switch that, if I'm right, it just pulls timing so you can run.
Timing.
You can run 91 instead of 93.
No, you can run 91 is fine. That's for 87 because back in the 80s.
No, really, this thing will run on 87.
Not long term. It's like that is the emergency switch. That's the I can't get 91. I can't get premium. And it says turn that switch on, fill it with as little as 87 as you can get away with, and get yourself to some 91. So the story behind this is grandfather owned it.
Mm-hmm.
Gave it to his grandson. Mm-hmm. Grandson ran 87 and it blew up the fucking engine.
Oh, shit. Ooh, that is a different feeling shifter than mine.
Yeah, it's an E-Series transmission out of the Camry.
Oh, and it fits.
With different bell housing.
Ah. So this is off of the equivalent generation Toyota Camry.
Yeah, because the C-Series would explode past about 100 horsepower.
Oh.
So they took the E-Series transmission off the V6 Camry and slapped a different bell housing on it and bolted it to this.
Okay, the little light comes on that says super. I like this transmission better than the original one.
Yeah.
Mine, I feel the original transmissions, the throw was too long and the engagement just didn't feel right.
Yeah.
It feels floppy. Now, am I going to spend money on my AW11? No, because it's all original. Oh, hey now. It's pulling when it shouldn't.
Yeah, you're going to find all the power between 3 and 6.
Sweet.
Yeah, and the supercharger light actually is not connected to the supercharger. And it comes on when the ECU thinks the supercharger's on.
Oh.
They're two completely independent, unconnected systems. Feel free to engage in fun.
I will. I will gladly do that.
Just sucks on a bit of a heavy ballast here for you.
That's like when they brought back the
Man, yours is already up to temp.
real,
Mine would be freezing right now.
in quotes,
was on the
real
interstate
oil
for
pressure
hours.
gauge in the NC Miata. It was just tied to the ECU and the tachometer.
There it is. Oh, this is good. Oh, this is really good. I don't remember the other AW11 feeling that quick.
Is other supercharged?
It was super. Maybe I just was maybe I wasn't being aggressive with it.
I bet the clutch was slipping on the supercharger. I had to rebuild that one.
Oh, this is fantastic. But now we're in Wisconsin. Moves right. Now we're in Wisconsin, and now the road just goes straight for forever.
Yeah.
Great. So we have some more appropriate cars waiting for us back at Chalupa Vista. Ooh. Yeah. All right, this transmission changes everything. I have half a mind to try to pay someone to swap me in the Camry transmission into my AW11 if it's going to make it shift like that. Because mine is, oh, there's the pull. There's the slight pull. I can see it. Beep.
Yeah.
But the transmission in the naturally aspirated one, it's find a gear, ride it out, and then sort of let it off a bit to find its happy place to go into the next gear. The Camry transmission, this is just bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
Not quite as good as Honda, but way better than the NA transmission. What you said, the C what?
The C50 or C52.
Okay. What did they designate the Camry transmission?
I want to say E150 something.
Okay.
But I don't remember off the top of my head.
Right.
Good luck. The bell housing to make the transmission the supercharged, just specifically supercharged only.
Okay. All right. I'm not good. I'll just enjoy this and then try to
wait for someone to 1.5 swap first supercharged and get the drivetrain.
Yeah. The 1.5 swap that Burnash made, unreal. By the time the guy was done tuning it, that was 300 to the wheel.
Yeah.
In that, the Gen 4 3SD GTE, like shoved every millimeter in the back of this thing. It was glorious.
I got to drive one once. I'm like, that's too much power. Like this feels like the right power for this chassis.
Right.
I can feel what he's feeling. Like I kind of almost want one of these now.
This is period correct.
Just I remember driving
I'm from the
one.
Philly area, and I'm used to furries from the East Coast driving small, hot hatches with turbos. But that's not what happens with furries in the Midwest. Every single one of them wants to be a cop. What's up with this? Is this like the greatest job you can have in Wisconsin? You can hope to be a police officer? Or is there some sort of weird fetish with authority? They all have their PA systems working. Oh, but wait a minute. Okay, I understand this stuff because civilians can have white and amber. But this guy here has red and blues.
I'll lead you back to where the track is.
So what's going on with this? Why does a civilian have red and blue lights? That's impersonating a police officer, unless the owner of this is a constable.
356.
Wait, this guy has a functioning scanner. This is weird. You know, in Pennsylvania, we like to joke that New Jersey is a lawless place, but Wisconsin is something else. Both Corey's car and my Nissan Pao were hardtops. This one is an electric.
That's cool.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my.
That is amazing. Your heater work?
Yeah, and AC.
Your AC works.
Yeah.
Did you get this off of like Cars and Bids, or did you import this directly?
I imported it through Tiki Bunny.
Oh, no, we know him. The mythic.
Okay. Whatever. Whatever. I want to go back to where like you got a lot of the paint. I think it was here maybe. I don't remember. Oh well. I honestly think that'll do it for today. I watched 2 videos, so played some Umamusume. I'll try and stream tomorrow evening, since I'll probably be iced or snowed in still, even though I'll be busy for most of the rest of the day. But thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in if you did, and like and subscribe. And I should have more stuff for you soon. That not all of it is necessarily going to be car or game related. So we'll see. So until next time, I will see you all later.